We're live. Hey, everybody. Before we go live or before I start talking to you, I want to show you something super cool. Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you right now, and we're going to start the show right now.
Hello, everyone. This is Dan Duran, the host of the Tech Lounge. I hope you are doing fantastic today. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe and follow us on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Also, watch us live every Friday at 12 p.m. Today, we will be talking about deepfakes. What are they and how they pose a threat in cybersecurity? Hello, Andrew. How are things?
I'm good, Dan.
You're good. All right.
I'm good, Dan.
Hey, everybody. This is Dan Duran. And yes, I am showing you a software called Decrypt or Descrypt. Descrypt. There you go. And basically what it is an AI that you teach, right? So I spent probably a couple of hours teaching this AI on how to speak like me, like my intonation, my charisma, all of that stuff on the pitch, all of that. And then what I do is I type stuff in the AI talks, or I play the AI and it talks like me. Right. So I don't think the technology is there, but it's almost getting there. It sounded okay, right? No? What do you think?
You know what? I from my perspective, the tone, it sounded very robot-like in direct. The sound and the tone was definitely you. Even when sometimes I hear you on some shows and you're talking, sometimes when you slow yourself down to be a little bit more, clear, but this was obviously because of the longevity of it. It was more robot-like, but it sounded just like you. I can see how technology is advancing to the point where you're not going to notice the difference. You're not going to.
Exactly. Hey, everybody. So we have some people on the stream. Hello, everybody. Let's see. We have Sonia Castillo. Hello, Sonia. Google Sonia. How are you? Hey, guys. She says.
Sonia. I just got that.
Yeah. Eduardo says hello. Who else do we have on online? Oscar Garrido. Hello, happy Friday, guys. Hey, I hope you're doing fantastic. Oscar Garrido. We have Sean. Greetings.
Hey,
greetings, Sean. I hope you're doing great, Sean. Catherine. Hi, guys. Who else do we have online? We have happy Friday, and then put that comment from Sonia on the screen.
Yeah, we're gonna explain that. Explain that.
Yeah. Haters.
That's just haters. Not. It's not friendly. It's just not friendly at all. I think, Dan, should we tell the audience?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
So every morning at 8:30, we obviously as a company we meet and we talk about daily activities and projects we're working on, etc. But then we wrap up usually with about a 10-15 minute game show that Dan hosts, and it's typically questions and answers.
Jeopardy.
And we call it's Jeopardy, just like Jeopardy, exactly. Have teams, and there was a team that was doing really, really well, and then another team came from behind, really, quite a bit. It was back and forth, but one individual always seems to have the right answer, just out of the blue. So we nicknamed her Google. Right, wrong, or indifferent, she could be, have all those intelligence, but we nicknamed her Google because she always seemed to be Googling. But we're not throwing you under the bus. We love you, Sonia, and I'm sure most of those questions you got right.
Absolutely. All right, so let's talk about what deepfakes is, or deepfakes are. And let me just play this for you.
Deepfakes use deep learning artificial intelligence to replace the likeness of one person with another in video and other digital media. There are concerns that deepfake technology can be used to create fake news and misleading, counterfeit videos, images, and voice. Here is a primer on deepfakes, what it is, how it works, and how it can be detected. Hello, everyone. This is Dan Duran.
Okay. I was playing this. There you go. So, Gladstone, I don't know if you can show my screen or if it's... There you go. Okay, perfect.
Actually, Dan, I just want everybody out there right now to be making a note and paying attention to Dan and I. And at the end of the day, at the end of the show, please comment, were we real or are we not real during this show? Is it really me on this show or isn't it? And Dan, the same thing. Okay, so please pay attention.
All right, we'll see about that. Okay, I have a couple of videos for you. These are all common Creative Commons, so they don't get dinged on YouTube. So this is the first one. It's funny videos first, and then we'll get into kind of like the meat and potatoes of what we're talking about today.
John, what? Martian! John McClane versus John Rambo. Begin!
Alright, guess I'll be the one to draw first blood.
Or maybe you could draw an audience to see any of your new movies.
Come out to the coast, we'll have a few laughs, sounds sweet. But no, I'm stuck here with these two jerkweeds, about to kick their ass with bare feet. I'll drop the beat. I'll set it off like it's the top of Nakatomi. Need a fire hose to swing on you, you're both so below me. I haven't stopped killing it since Carl's brother Tony, and I got your detonators right here. Blow me. Ship your booby trap.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, deepfakes or deepfakes in this case, they're being used quite a bit in terms of entertainment and kind of spoofing people like Tom Cruise, like Putin is also being portrayed in there, as well as like Barack Obama and other like celebrities and important people out there, right? But it is very worrisome because people or cybersecurity experts are kind of doing this analyzing what's going on, and we already seen some cybersecurity events that have happened because of deepfake, and they're projecting that this technology is going to increase to the point where we're going to have to be careful with what we do in everyday life, because it is going to happen. It is going to happen.
I mean, there's no question, Dan. I mean, in regards to that, and I'm just going to throw in, myself personally. I mean, I always believe we should, build a cybersecurity culture that's not through fear, but it's through awareness. But that said, it's still, you are cautious as an individual. Myself, when I pick up a random phone call on my cell and there's a delay or there's a hesitation or there's, just anything that I don't recognize, caller ID, I don't answer. Or they'll say, "Hi, is this Andrew?" And I'll be like, "I'm not sure. Who am I speaking with?" Or, sometimes I won't even answer. I'll just hang up just because of this technology. I don't want to put myself at risk potentially.
Yes, absolutely. So I have we have some comments here. Catherine, she says, deepfakes are coming, ready or not. Absolutely, 100%. They are coming and they're here. I think Eduardo asked something in there. He says, Dan, who invented deepfake? Did it come out of some computer lab? You know what? There's not an inventor per se. I was research on the history of deepfake and who invented it. But it is kind of like
AI.
It happened through AI in MIT, like in Michigan. What do you call it? Institute of Technology, created in the 1990s, something that was very similar to deepfake, but it wasn't. And then evolved from there, right? So,
and Elon Musk. I remember I watched a show not too long ago, or a talk with him. And he was mentioning that, artificial intelligence, deepfake and all that stuff, but was really specifically to artificial intelligence. It's more detrimental to the global world than, nuclear war or nuclear bombs. And it's something to be very, very aware of. And to Catherine's point, get ready or not, it's coming.
Yes.
And we have to be aware of it.
I said MIT, the MIT. Sorry, I meant Massachusetts, right? So that's the MIT. I think I said Michigan. Sorry about that. All right. Okay. So let me show you on the screen. So Gladstone, if you can put the screen on, this is pretty cool. This is an AI. This is back in, I think, 2018. This is a Google AI that made an appointment at a salon. So it just called the salon, and the person at the salon had no idea that it was a robot or an AI. It wasn't a real person making the appointment. So let's check this out.
How can I help you? Hi, I'm calling to book a women's haircut for a client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd. Sure, give me 1 second. Mm-hmm. Sure, what time are you looking for around? At 12 p.m. We do not have a 12 p.m. available. The closest we have to that is a 1:15. Do you have anything between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m.? Depending on what service she would like. What service is she looking for? Just a woman's haircut for now. Okay, we have a 10 o'clock. 10 a.m. is fine. Okay, what's her first name?
The first name is Lisa.
Okay, perfect. So I will see Lisa at 10 o'clock on May 3rd.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Great. Have a great day. Bye.
And then it makes another call to a restaurant to book, like a dinner or something like that. What do you think about that? That was like pretty perfect.
You know what's crazy about that? I mean, it's perfect and it sounded perfect, and it was AI. It wasn't, Deepfakes or Deepfake right now. But I mean, and it was, like I said, it was so well done. But what really makes me think about that is, let's say, for example, I'm an executive in a company or an individual in a company that has a credit card on file. And I give it, the person a call, say, hey, Dan, or hey, Sue, it's Andrew calling. Just want to make sure that which credit card do we have on file, because someone's going to be putting through a payment today. And then they say it's, Visa 123245789. Okay, beautiful. And the expiry on that, what is what? And what's the number on the back of that? Beautiful. Appreciate that so much. Talk to you later. Click. That's not going to create the suspicion necessarily, because you're not asking for anything. You're just verifying the card on file.
Yes.
Right? It's so easy to manipulate a situation with this type of technology. It's unbelievable.
Absolutely. 100%. And you know what? I know you're saying that this is not video. Yeah, it's not Deepfakes. But it's an AI that's using voice, right? And Sonia says, "Wow, that sounded real." Yes, it does sound real, because to the point where the person on the other side of the phone does not know that it's a robot calling. And imagine in the future where you can have assistants that are making appointments for you and doing stuff and calling places. That is just nuts, right? And since you're on the topic of credit card and all of this stuff and fraud, let me show you this article. And thanks, Andrew, for pinpointing this article to me. So so this is from the Wall Street Journal, and I think this is 2018 or 19. And here it is. Fraudsters use AI to mimic CEO's voice in unusual cybercrime case. So scams using artificial intelligence are a new challenge for companies. So part of Deepfake is what's called voice cloning. And voice cloning technology is basically an AI where I teach the AI, for example, how to talk, or I teach them how to talk like a CEO, for example, using any material on YouTube and different places where the CEO is talking. And then when the person calls, it goes through the filter. When the scammer calls, goes through the filter, and then it sounds like the CEO when you're talking. So this is actually something that happened in 2019.
I think it was, if I remember correctly, I think it was the first one ever recorded.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that,
but for this technology, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but
yeah. But when people are saying, like AI technology or the fake or voice cloning is not there yet, it is, because listen to this: criminals use artificial intelligence-based software to impersonate a chief executive's voice and demand a fraudulent transfer of $243,000 in March of what cybercrime experts describe as an unusual case of artificial intelligence being used in hacking.
Yeah.
Right. So it's getting there, and we're starting to see more of this stuff. Now the new one that's coming out is Tinder. Right. It's in Tinder, face like fake face when you're going through your Tinder. I mean, Tinder, but those people that use, be careful, because it might be an AI in there trying to scam you. So let me show you another video. Do we have any comments out there? If you have any comments, any questions, just post them out there. We'll be happy to put them on the screen for you. All
sure.
right. So
and anything that maybe even happened to you personally, or you've seen, or you've watched, bring it to our attention, because this is all fairly new to everybody, and it's going to affect us all. So please share. All
right. Here it is. Okay, Eduardo says, what would be the most famous case of scam using deepfake techniques? All right, so the most famous is the one that I just showed you. I don't think there's anything that's into millions and millions of dollars of scam. I think that was I'm not sure. If you guys know, just put them on the screen, and then we'll be happy to share with everybody. So let's watch this video. It's called New Technique for Detecting Deepfake Videos.
Just for a second. One man with total control of billions of people's stolen data, all their secrets, their lives, their futures. I owe it all to Spectre. Spectre showed me
That is not Mark talking, by the way.
What we've got to do is count on people all around this country to make their voices heard.
I'm fighting for Medicare for all. I'm like if Monday Night Raw was hosted by NPR's Terry Gross. I'm fighting for the middle class. I'm fighting for Medicare for all. I'm like if Monday Night Raw was hosted by NPR's Terry Gross.
All right, so I want to make a little breaking here. So you see, this is the real the Senator Elizabeth. I don't know her name. I can't see it there. She's talking, and then Saturday Night Live is making a sketch about her on the right hand side. You can see that this is the actress, right? But then in the middle, they swapped. They put an actual Deepfake AI on the impersonation, right? And then you can see the difference between the actual actress and the real
Elizabeth Warren. Her last name's Warren.
Warren, Elizabeth Warren. Yes. And
especially our friends who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender. I visited with the families of many of the victims on Thursday, and one thing I told them is that they're not alone. The American people and people all over the world are standing with them, and we always will.
So that's the deepfake of Barack Obama there.
It's unbelievable how we can be manipulated, eh? Wow.
Check this out. Yeah, this is from Saturday Night Live. I don't know if you remember this sketch on the. Yeah, this is from the Berkeley University of California, right? Pretty cool stuff, right? So what do you think about that, guys? We have some comments in there. Maybe you can post them on the screen, Gladstone. Let's see what people have to say about this. All right, so Kai Younglian says, do we need to pass the Turing test or tuning test before we can connect with the phone in the future? Yeah, so I guess we're gonna have to have some sort of device inside of the phone to be able to get the real voice. What else do we have in there? Oscar, I know Oscar.
Oscar's one with
the most known Deepfake, I think, is the guy who pretended to be Tom Cruise. Oh yes,
that is pretty popular. It is pretty popular.
Yeah, so that's a TikToker, right? And what he does is basically he posts all kinds of videos, and he looks like Tom Cruise. He sort of looks actually like
a little bit, yes, similar mannerism too.
But then it looks like Tom Cruise, and I don't know how that guy's not taken down, or like he doesn't get sued by Tom Cruise or anything like that, right? Like,
well, who knows? I mean, there's probably Tom. In all fairness, probably has a bunch of lawyers looking into it. I'm sure.
Yes, Felix has a comment in there. Hello, Felix. I hope you're doing fantastic. He says, it is a very dangerous weapon for political issues, and that's the key, right? So when, let's say, Vladimir Putin is talking in the president of Russia is talking in, how do you know that it's not a deepfake that's talking and it is the actual real person, right? So, yeah.
You know what makes that so dangerous, Dan, and to Felix's point is we are influenced so incredibly much by social media now as individuals. And there's fake news out there, even on the real news, that you don't know if you can trust or not. And then there's fake news on the social media news. And then in every case, whether you're pro something, anti something, you can find literature or information to strengthen your position, right? So it's really hard as an individual sometimes to be able to know really what's right and what's wrong, who's answering, what's that real source? Is it a real source saying that? Did that person really say that? Or is it a deepfake or a deepfake? I mean, it's crazy. It's really, really, it's kind of scary. I read an article prior to this show saying about, a silicone world. And that's really what we're going to be living. It's everything's artificial. Everything's going to be fake. And you have to be really conscious of what you do and how you do it.
Yes, absolutely. And Diego says the deepfakes of Obama and Trump are so evident. The faces stay a lot in the same position. Yeah, that's true because the technology is not quite
Not there, exactly.
right? But what's going to happen in 5 years from now when the technology is there? You know what? Actually,
That's exactly it.
who was it? I think very recently, was it Elon Musk that came out with a quantum computer now, like a real quantum computer? And when the computer power starts to evolve into quantum computing, it's just going to be nuts. So let's put. I have this article on the screen, Gladstone, if you don't mind, just putting that in there. This is from the Hacker News, right? This is a website that I read every day. They have so much good information on cybersecurity and the latest vulnerabilities and exposures and stuff like that. This is from September 3rd, 2019. It says Chinese face swapping app Zhao sparks privacy concerns after going crazy viral. So this is Zhao, and you can swap faces. You can see that in there, right? So this is
right.
Game of Thrones being swapped, right? So so it is concerning because now with this technology in Zhao, for example, you can mimic any person, and not just famous and political leaders and stuff like that, but anybody. Right, and then post it on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that, and fake an actual person, impersonate a human being. What do you think about that? This is pretty bad stuff, right?
It's
like
crazy.
What's going on?
I know Oscar has a question in regards to this kind of too. I don't know if Gladstone, you see that there or not, but
yes, put it on.
So is there any laws in place here in Canada about using this type of technology? I can't answer that. I'm not a lawyer in the law.
Yeah, well, no lawyer. So there you go. This is the alarm.
The alarm. But I can't see how there can't be some type of. I mean, it's impersonation, right? Depends on how you're using it. There's technology companies that are building technology. This is what they're leveraging to do that. But if you're using it in a harmful way, a hurtful way, a deceitful way, a dishonest way, then 100% it's an illegal transaction. And I'm sure there's legal ramifications to it.
As far as I know, I'm not a lawyer by any means. And, we're not lawyers here at this show. But I don't think there's any laws regarding deepfake yet, or even AI technology.
And that's, I think, like I said, unless maybe it's being used in a negative way. Again, I don't know that answer either. I'm assuming it's got to be. I mean, it only makes sense, right? It's fraudulent. It's impersonation. And there's laws for that.
I think that's where the line is crossed, right?
Exactly.
So when you're impersonating, and if there's prejudice, right? So prejudice and there's malicious activity, right? So something happens, you steal, you defame people or libel people, right? So now defamation, that will be crossing the line with deepfake and all of this stuff, and that is basically you can go to jail for that, right? So all right, so could be a problematic during court cases where the video evidence is used. Oh my God.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, it's a murder case. Let's say a murder case, and we go, there is a court case and they're showing evidence of the murder scene and stuff like that, the actual act, and then it's not the real person, it's actually a deepfake in there.
You know what this is going to do? I think it's just having fun with this topic a little bit, but it's kind of sad reality. When you go to a nightclub or a bar, and I haven't done this for many, many years, and I've never done this, but you know how, you may meet someone new and you kind of, you basically embellish of who you are or what you do, etc. Somebody will walk up, a guy or a girl will walk up to somebody they're interested in. They say, "Oh, what do you do for a living?" "Oh, I'm an actor." "Oh yeah, what have you been in?" "I've been in this and this." And whenever they pull up their phone, they're like, "Well, here I am in, this show," or "Here I am." And they're like, "Wow, that's incredible," because, they can give them that real life deep fake or deep face. They're like, okay, that solidifies that, yeah, you are an actor. That's great. Let's continue to talk or move forward. Everything can be so fake. It's crazy.
Yes, absolutely. And I have another video here, Gladstone. Maybe you can put this on the screen, and this is explaining detecting deepfake videos using media forensics. All right, so let's watch this.
The term deepfakes refers to a collection of tools that one could download and use to be able to do, among other things, insert your face into a video. Some of these videos are probably so good that the average person would not be able to tell the difference. GARP is interested in looking at this problem. They receive a lot of imagery, a lot of video and image data, and they would like to be able to know whether that data has been modified or altered. And that's what this program is all about. We collect a lot of these video samples, and then we use these fake video examples to train our artificial intelligence machine learning algorithm.
Basically, what it means with training is we have some source of data, any repository can be like that, and we start feeding it videos and more videos. And basically what our system does is it analyzes frame by frame, extracts information at the frame level, puts it together in the temporal sense, and then it creates a model for that. And it can create a model that is more and more complex as long as it sees more videos.
By analyzing the video, we can see whether or not the face is consistent with the rest of the information in the video. And if it's inconsistent, we detect these subtle inconsistencies. We can then flag that video as being suspect.
I think our approach is unique that we feed it more data, it's going to get better with time. So as long as we discover more deepfake videos, we can put them there and it's going to spot them. So it's going to be robust with time and data. So it gets better and better all the time.
It's part of a...
And that's the thing, right? It's getting better and better on all the time. And you know what is fueling this? I just noticed in this video. You know what's fueling this, Andrew?
What?
This is all open source, right? So most of the stuff that we're seeing, all the AI stuff, the fake and in machine learning and all of those algorithms, they're all open source. I just saw on the video GitHub, right? So in GitHub, there's a lot of repositories where people can actually download the code and create their own thing and their own spin-off of things, you know. So universities are doing this and other also private entities, because the rate of acceleration on invention using open source as opposed to commercial code and software, it's much greater, right? So it's much, because everybody's contributing to the source code at all times, right? So I see it accelerating and becoming more powerful as time goes by, right? So
Dan, I have a question for you, because I know there's other questions too, but I personally have one. I mean, so we talk about the negative side of this, so impersonation and being able to manipulate and do cybercrime and different type of things. But on a positive side, I mean, why are people doing this? I mean, I know it's all about advancing technology and doing something new and you know, advancing as a race, let's say, in regards to technology. But is it, you know, for example, is it to minimize the cost of hiring an actor for making a multi-million-dollar movie, or is it for, you know, like what is the true benefit of doing this other than advancing technology to a negative?
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about the deepfakes, for example, let's suppose I'm a CTO, I'm a very busy guy, right? And I have a team in a company, right? So, and I want to create training videos. Instead of having myself do it, I can have the junior person, you know, like do all these classes and then just put my face on his face, even though it's not, I wouldn't consider that ethical, right? Like it should be like the real person. But then it's all about, you know, like optimizing time and being able to do, you know, things.
Yeah, okay, I see that.
That could be a good use of it. I don't know. And for example, training, like, and not just the deepfakes, but the actual training. So what I'm talking about, there's AI that they mimic to be a person. I don't know if you've seen it. I think I sent you a video. Remember when I sent you a video with and it was a girl and say, "Hey, Andrew, how are you doing?" And I just typed in what I wanted to say,
right? And
that girl said it because it was an AI, right? But imagine that for training, right? So you can just type in your content on a notepad, and then have an AI impart that training to a lot of people, your staff and YouTube or whatever, right? So that could be a good use for it. I see it as a good use. But the rest is, I mean, CGI technology, for example, in movies has increased so much.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you don't have to have actors in there, right? Like you can put a lower level actor and then just replace the face and stuff. Let's go back to the FBI. So I have this on the screen right now. Scammers are interviewing for remote jobs using deepfake. Right. So this is how deepfake is being used for scamming purposes as well. Right. So imagine scoping jobs at IT companies. Right. So you're a deepfake in an interview on Zoom, for example, and you get hired into that company and to steal corporate IT databases or proprietary information. Infiltration. So, like that's the easiest way in cybersecurity. That's one of the easiest ways to attack a company, right? From the inside out. Disgruntled employees, for example. This is from PC Mag. So, deepfakes involving using AI-powered programs to create realistic, phony media of a person, but now they're cloning this in terms of using it for interviews for IT companies, in cybersecurity companies and stuff like that. That would be crazy, man. Wow.
And with this technology, and this isn't, it's not a sales pitch for our MDR or RhinoGuard, but our network security. But I mean, in all fairness, to this type of technology, and then insider trading or insider threats, etc., there's going to be a much greater chance of having networks people coming in and doing this. And if you don't have a thing like an MDR in your network, you could potentially be at risk, right? I mean, it's a much greater chance of that happening.
Yes. Well, in as part of our MDR, our managed detection and response, we do track and we do see everyday remote connections, right? So if remote, like if you have a disgruntled employee, for example, there will be exfiltrating data, and usually that will happen at night. Let's say they're remoting in at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and those are kind of telltale signs for us that something is going on when people should be sleeping. There's activity going on a network. Exactly. Yeah, definitely. That could be used, and we have AI in our machine learning in our MDR as well for anomaly detection, right? So even though IP addresses, for example, are still good, they're not suspicious IP addresses or blacklisted, we can still detect activity that is beyond the normal behavior of a network. Exactly. So scammers are participating in video interviews with prospective employers. However, the FBI noted that the AI-based technology can still show flaws when the scammer is speaking.
Still doesn't mean it's gonna change. It's gonna, wow.
Yes. Yeah. So I see. Look at this. Scammers are using deepfake now. So I see there's a lot of articles about this topic, and there's also articles on what to do if to be able to tell whether it's a fake deepfake or not.
I was just going to ask that. Okay, we talk about it now. Is there certain signs or tells that we should be looking at as an individual or as companies that we aren't being deepfaked or face faked?
Okay, the first thing that they say is remember that not everything you see online is real. Okay, guys. Probably like a quarter of what you see online is real nowadays, right? With all the fake news. Oh, God, man, what's going on with the world? So deepfake technology to phishing attacks, scams, and growing increasingly difficult to discern with the naked eye, right? Always exercise caution if you are contacted by a company or individual and you can't validate their identity with 100% of confidence, right? So, you have to use other methods. If somebody's, sending you an email, you have to call them. You have to get into a voice video and stuff like that, right? So, exercise caution for sure. Also, sharing information.
Sorry, go ahead. I apologize. I cut you off.
No. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think that's so important because, I mean, we talk about, layered security and cybersecurity, protecting yourself and endpoint detection and firewalls and all these, third-party resources, and then the MDR to protect your network. And these are all technology-driven or human component-driven. But when it comes to the human side of things, because human, awareness training is really, really critical for corporations. But it goes beyond the technology. It comes to common sense as well. Like, if Dan called me and said, "Hey, Andrew, can you do me a favor? Randomly out of the blue, can I borrow your credit card? I have to do something tonight because in mine, basically, I don't know, I have to pay for it tomorrow. I don't care, whatever it is." I'd be like, "Okay, well, no problem. Give me a minute." and I would pick up the phone and I would call Dan and I'd say, hey, buddy, or I'd have a code word, or I'd have something that would identify the fact. Because if it's out of the norm, or there's a call to urgency, you have to have the human component where it's like, okay, wait a second, red flag. What can I do to verify this is true before I send X number of dollars away to somebody?
Yeah, but you know what? It is difficult sometimes because I have had I'm a Walmart. I need to buy batteries. For my mouse, and then I call Beth, and I'm like, okay, can you give me the 3 digits of the card, and can you give me the card, Beth? And then you see that it's my phone call. How do you know that it's not being spoofed and it's somebody else, right? So,
and I think, but that's but to that point, and I'm gonna jump in there. I think you're bang on. To that point, if it's a minor transaction for batteries, $20, $30, $10, it's probably not going to be a red flag. But if all of a sudden you said, by the way, I'm going to go buy an $8,000 computer, can I use can I transfer the money, or can you transfer the money to this place or whatever? Hopefully you have some type of things in place as an organization to layer that security, to make sure that you can verify it, is all I'm kind of getting at. But good point, Dan. A minimal expenditure, you probably won't even think about it.
And the other thing is, in your debit cards and your credit cards, you have to use the technology. So, for example, the app that comes on your iPhone or your Android, downloaded notifications are so important. So, for example, if somebody uses your credit card, right? You get notified right away. You see a notification there, like $10 were, taken from your account. And if it's not you, or it's not somebody that you trust, like your husband or your wife, that sends red flags all over. Right? I'm like, oh, what the heck is using my card? Right away, call the bank and stop that, right? Because that's definitely an attack that's happening on you. So things like that, I think they're very, very good cybersecurity hygiene habits that anybody should be able to exercise, right? So the other thing is, talking about exercising here. Exercise caution when sharing. There you go. Exercise caution when sharing information digitally. Often, scams will use urgency to trick people into giving away information quickly. That's exactly what you're talking about right now, Andrew. If you see a post online, or receive a text message, or get a phone call from a company expressing extreme urgency, stop and go directly to the source to validate. Right. So, talking about Google, I think can you put that comment from Sonia Castillo on the screen? She says, "So we shouldn't Google everything." There you go, Sonia, Googler. Do not use Google University for everything, right? So it's extremely important.
Just be aware of what you're reading, and do just like security, multi-factor authentication, or check your sources a few times, or verify before you like the old construction rule, right? Measure twice, cut once. I think it's important you exercise that kind of thought process.
Exactly.
But Dan, in regards to that, though, wait a second. I got to jump in again, because I love this topic, because, there's different places all over the world, right? And they always say, Canadians are so trusting and so happy and so nice. I mean, does this happen more frequently, potentially, in different cultures or different countries because of the mindset of the individuals? I mean, is it more proactive for us to be faked out in Canada because we're trusting, and maybe in the States they're not, or in Germany they're, again, I don't know that answer. I'm just putting that out there because, I'm sure the hackers are going to tap into that and say, okay, wait a second, I have a better chance of fooling somebody in Canada than I do in Germany. Hypothetical.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to respond to that question. All right, are we more susceptible than other people online? I'm not sure, right? So we have other comments on the screen. If you can put them on the screen. Do you think facial recognition should be banned? Oh man, that's a really good question. And China, I don't know if you've seen the videos on China, Andrew, how they use facial recognition for pretty much everything. Right? Yeah. Like people are walking down the street and they can recognize their faces, and then they have the social scoring system, and people, some of the places you can actually pay with your face, right? So you don't need a credit card or anything. You just show your face, and then it just you complete a transaction and stuff like that. Facial recognition, right, is becoming more and more obvious and more out there. Should be banned. What do you think?
You know what? For me, it comes back to that. I just used the terminology a minute ago. Dual factor authentication. I think there's strength to having that. I think there's a reason to have that technology, but again, I think it has to be backed by other sources. So if all of a sudden my face is recognized, maybe I have to have another. Maybe it's my fingerprint that I got to do at the same time. It's becoming crazy. And again, the technology aspect is great in some ways, but so scary, because every single positive aspect, there's going to be two negative aspects to it. Because that's just the way the world works.
Absolutely. Also, Diego has a question in there, a comment. He says about validating sources. It is something that it should be done not only for confirming emails, but also for all the news we read or the information we consume. That is from Diego. And we have something from Alex as well. He says privacy definitely becomes an aspect as well. Yes, yes. And then he says that's creepy. LOL.
That's for sure.
All right,
well,
let's.
Nothing sacred at this point, right? I mean, if they can do that, and they can leverage your face and do these things. There's nothing sacred. It's scary.
Yes, I have another video here that I'm going to play, and this is a brief history of unreliable images. Let's do this.
Good morning. It's a reunion video. Wait, what is happening? Okay, so you're looking at something right now called a deepfake, which was created by a professor at the University of Washington named Ryan, who trained a model to learn how to map our faces so that he could superimpose a mustache I had once onto both Hank and me, thereby giving us a glimpse of just how bad Hank would look with a mustache, as well as a reminder that I myself am no Tom Selleck. Sorry, I'm not as good as Ryan at deepfakes. Hi, good morning, Hank. It's Tuesday. It's real me, or is it? Right, so this technology has been used to make Donald Trump and Barack Obama and many other people say things they haven't actually said. And you might be thinking, the tech isn't that good. I can still tell that it's fake. And fair enough, but I'll remind you that in 2007, YouTube looked like this. Like 2019 deepfakes look better than 2007 reality. It's not going to take deepfakes long to catch up. In a famous 1938 essay, Virginia Woolf wrote that photographs are simply a crude statement of fact addressed to the eye.
All right, so that's the history, and we wanted to see the history. It's not Massachusetts, the University of Washington. Great, yes, that's a really good point, Andrew. Back in the 1990s, reality TV was very crude, and you could see the images and the video was really, really bad, right? So, and deepfakes they're actually better than in the 1990s. So, what's going to happen in 20 years from now, right?
Yeah.
That's what
or 2 years from now, unfortunately.
Or 2 years from now, you never know. Do we have any comments, any questions out there? Right. So put them out there and we are going to display them on the screen. Now, security, upgrade your security. So deepfakes are very similar because the deepfake it's all about deceiving people. So there are social engineering attacks, right? So like phishing, like like smishing, vishing, and all of that stuff, right? So the things that you need to do is upgrade security. Look out, for example, offers malware and safe browsing protection to scan all links on social media, text messages, and online, and block threats before they do harm. It constantly scans the internet for new URLs. So they're talking about this software, I guess, and flag sites for malicious as they are being built. So DNS protection is very important. And I do have DNS protection on my, let me see if I type in something deepfake on my browser. You see here that I have this little dots in here, right?
Yeah, green, yeah.
And this is DNS protection, right? So this is from WebRoot. And it's telling me that this website, it is good to go. And if I go down, all of these websites are good, and then you see something like that, which is not really good or bad, but you have to be cautious on proceeding to clicking here, right? So, and then if I don't know if I'm going to find anything that is malicious on this in here, but sometimes when these little dots are red, it means do not go in there, do not click. This is a bad bad websites. So that's what they're talking about. DNS protection is very important, because even though the deepfake, for example, phishing scams and all of that are using AI, the links that proceed or and that redirect after might be bad. Right. So we have another question in there.
Well, yeah, perfect.
And it is from Leila Nasor. She asked, do you think that the remote technology advances, the more legislation will have to be made about it? Will it be necessary to gradually control technology more and more? Yes. And as we all know, technology goes first and then legislation goes after, trying to catch up to technology, right? So, yeah, absolutely 100%, right? So there will be eventually laws that will have to be made about all of this stuff. AI, when AI reaches the singularity point where it's thinking by itself, what's going to happen to the world? What kind of laws are we going to have to create for that?
Exactly. And you know what? It's so funny, because we're in the cybersecurity space, and we're seeing a dramatic change in how companies get cybersecurity insurance because of how things are changing, how the landscape's changing, how they're being held more accountable for actions that these companies should probably have put better protection in place for. So that landscape is changing dramatically, leaps and bounds, like daily, weekly, monthly. So I mean, to answer your question, Leila, I'm going to put myself out there and say 100% there's going to have to be more legislation, more laws in place to control the advancement of technology. It's going to have to, because if not, we're going to be held prisoner by it. I really believe that.
Absolutely. But right now it's about the human component. We need to be alert, right? So we need to consider the sources, where it's coming from, right? The links, the landing pages, where it's going, where you're putting your information, and looking for inconsistencies, because the human is very good at detecting faces, right? And that's a known fact. Since we are born, we are babies, and we can detect different faces, your mother, your father, etc. And even frowns or smiles. A baby can detect that within like a few weeks of being born, right? So we're really good at detecting faces, and there's still inconsistencies on their videos, for example, on the voice that we can catch. So you have to look for those inconsistencies when somebody's talking to yours, or you are doing an interview. If you are an HR, for example, and you're doing an interview to a prospect employee for the company, those are the things that you need to be aware of. Make sure that you call them, use email, use voice, use video, and so it's not somebody that's a hacker trying to get into a job in an IT company, as they said in the article. That would be bad, man.
Well, the other thing too, in regards to a lot of this and this technology, is the old way of thinking, or remember, you people use terminology, conspiracy theories. It's usually transferred through verbiage or through history, through transactions. But now with technology, if there's a conspiracy theory, you can actually have really pertinent information, or valid information, or fake information that backs that conspiracy up, right? That just enhances that mindset. And that's what's so important. So to the point you were just mentioning is, just really, really, really be aware as the human component of what you're reading, verify it, understand it, and just don't be so trusting. Just, don't be scared. Just be aware. That's really, really important.
Yes, absolutely. And the other thing that you need to be aware of is that the more information you put out in the world, the more that you're susceptible to attacks. Right. So it's all about exposure. So myself, I do a lot of videos, right, on Get Cyber, for example, tutorials and stuff like that, and speeches. We're going to Elevate, by the way, everybody. We're going to Elevate to 2022. I'm going to be a keynote speaker at Elevate, talking about managed detection and response on the Secure and Protect this September 22nd. So make sure you go to Elevate in Toronto. It's going to be an amazing show for sure.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Dan, on that. That was a special invitation that you had. So congratulations.
That's going to be awesome. So yeah, the thing is, like, limit access or an exposure. So if you're going to be talking on video or posting images of yourself and all of that, voice and all of that, make sure don't do that. don't do it, because that's how hackers are going to get that information, those videos, those voice bits, and your image, and they're going to be able to teach AI to be like you, right? So that is us, that we are kind of like on the media and on the public. We're more susceptible because our face, our voice, our videos are everywhere, right? So it's a little harder for us to be able to protect ourselves. But like average people, that that just, if you limit recordings on the internet, the better, right? So a lot of people are saying congratulations. Oscar Garrido says congratulations. You're very welcome. Thank you very much, Oscar. Alex says yes, congratulations. Also, Catherine, wow, congratulations. Yes, we're going to be speaking and talking about another. I'm going to drop another bombing here.
Yeah, go ahead. I was hoping you were going to.
Just today, 10 minutes before the show, I got a letter or an email. Hopefully, it wasn't a phishing email, so I don't.
I sent it to him. No, I'm just joking.
I got accepted into the master's degree of science at the Georgia Tech Institute. So, and I'm going to be doing my cybersecurity master's at Georgia Tech starting on January. So yeah.
That's fantastic.
That's going to be my second master's degree, and I can't wait for that. I am super excited. So it's a really, really good day for me and for Rhino Cybersecurity, obviously, and in terms of recognition and growing the cybersecurity and our MDR, which is so important.
So Dan, on that note, I just want to wish you because we're coming to the close to the end of the show, and it's been a fun show because it's really, really informative. But I asked the question at the very beginning of the show, so please don't be shy. Am I real or am I a fake, person in this show today? And is Dan? So we just want to get your feedback. Please let us know if we're really here or if it's artificial intelligence or deepfakes.
Is that a trick question?
It's a question. I want them to answer. Are we real or are we wrong? I'm just just thought have some fun with the audience today.
Are you like twitching like this?
This is very important information.
Yeah, just leave us that your comment in there. I'm going to share with you my screen one more time, and before we go, and this is basically talking about the number of deepfakes online is growing exponentially. Look at this. From January 2019 to October of 2020, this is 1 year. Check this out. It is exponentially growing. Right. So that's something to watch out for. I don't know what it is in 2022. This is from 2018 to 2020. And it's crazy. All right. So what do people say? Let's see.
Alex said.
Real.
Oscar, what did he say? Alex, my guess is real.
Look at Sonia. What does Sonia say? Gladstone. There you go.
There we go.
Fake for sure.
Fake for sure. LOL.
All right. So what are you, Andrew? Are you a robot? Are you an AI, a cyborg? What are you today?
Let me be very clear. The entire show today was done by artificial intelligence. Real me. It was really me.
Yeah. Diego has a comment in there. Yeah, it is real for sure.
It's real for sure.
Yeah, I can tell. Diego has a very, very curious comment. He says the beginning of the deepfake started when the myth began that Paul McCartney, so the Beatles bassist, had died in 1966 and was replaced by a deepfake.
You know what? It's funny. I heard that. You know what? Elvis Presley has been seen all over the place. So maybe that's all deep faces as well. Deep fakes.
Oh, God. Okay. So, yeah, that's not a deep fake, though, because it's not AI driven, but that was an actual human person that was put instead of.
Just kidding.
That is controversy. I don't know, man. I don't think that's real. I don't know, man. It's just. it's too weird for me, right? So Alex says LOL, and thank you everybody for. But we're gonna cut it short a little bit today, just because I think we ran out of content. Did we? I have. Let me see. I have a couple more of. Yeah. So, but it's the same thing. FBI scammers are interviewing for remote jobs using tech. Like put this on the screen, Gladstone. Maybe we can see.
I have heard that, Diego, by the way, to answer your question.
Yes. Yeah, that's they're very famous conspiracy theory about Paul McCartney for sure. So look at this. This is the real person, right? And this is the deep fake in here, right? So this is the original person. And this girl here is mimicking the original person using deep fake over here. That looks pretty real to me. Maybe her mouth. It's not there yet, right? So that's it. Thank you everybody for showing up today and being part of this live. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and make sure that you subscribe to our channel, Get Cyber, on YouTube, as well as LinkedIn, Facebook. Follow us. We have Purple Talk. We actually are providing people with 4 articles, cybersecurity articles per week. That is massive. And then we have our Purple Talk newsletter that gets delivered right to your inbox every month. If you want to know more about the cybersecurity awareness training and stuff like that, super awesome. I'll see you next time. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, have a fantastic weekend. Cheers.
Bye. Cheers.